Now, there's a lot of sales training out there that shows you how to close or shows you how to handle objections and all this other stuff. And they're all good strategies. They're all good approaches. Everyone has their own way of selling. They have their own way of closing deals, so on and so forth. But there's certain things you can do during the sales call or leading up to the sales call that will immediately boost your close rate by at least 15, 20, or 30%. And these things, if you can keep them in mind, when you take your next sales call or your next sales meeting, you will have such a profound impact on every single call. You will help your prospects actually step out of their fear and be able to make decisions. All right, because at the end of the day, that's what a sale is. You're there to help them make a decision that's going to get them closer to their goals, whether it's going with your product or service or in a different direction. So that's what we're going to dive in today. Strap in, subscribe, like, share, all that good noise, and let's dive in. All right, so number one is going to be downplay. So one of the calls I listened to, the prospect, as usual, starts off by telling you how they saw your ad and that you seem like you know what you're doing and they want to see what you're about, all that good stuff, right? So first of all, this is a test. Don't walk down the path they're laying out for you, right? Don't sit there and say, oh yeah, we've had amazing results in the past. We helped these many clients. This is our guarantee, so on and so forth, and all this other nonsense. If you did that, and it's okay, because years ago, I also did it at a certain point. It's not a big deal because you just don't know any better yet. You have successfully screwed yourself because you've now set a foundation for the call where the prospect wants you to sell them on why they should buy the thing that you're selling, whatever product, service, whatever it is. What you need to do is the opposite, right? Downplay the company. So if a prospect says, just saw your ad, thought you guys looked legit and want to see what you guys had to offer, as a closer, you say, there's people that are probably much better than us at scaling your business, to be honest, and we've just started. If you're looking for someone with a huge following, long list of clients, and you're just going to be another number to them, I can probably point you in another direction. And that's it. And just let that simmer in. 9 times out of 10, the prospect is going to be mind-boggled. At this point, they'll hit you with confusion, shock, and most importantly, increased curiosity, right? And which is our goal. Now, you can't do this with every prospect, obviously. You've got to read the ones you feel like that have gotten the basic BS sales script somewhere else and hit them with something different, something that they haven't been hit with before. Number 2, hard questions. Now, this is a simple yet hard fix. You have to grow some balls. Period. Stop being afraid of anything on your calls. I can sense the hesitation on some of these calls that I listen to on a regular basis, and I don't understand what salespeople are afraid of. The biggest weapon a prospect has against you is the word no. And that's it. And that should be expected, right? You're a closer. You're not a kiosk where people just go to get some information. If people could decide without your help, you, as a salesperson, as a closer, will be unnecessary. Expect a no. They can't do anything else. That's all they can do is to say no, and then you move on to the next one. If you can't turn that into a yes, obviously. And if that happens, again, onward and upward. So stop being afraid to ask the hard questions. Ask a prospect why as much as you possibly can. And the moments it feels weird or awkward to ask them, that's probably the most impactful time to ask them. All right. Why are you here? Why haven't you been able to scale past 20, 50, 100K a month? Why can't you do it yourself? What are you lacking on your own or in your own skill set in your team to be able to get what you want? How much can you invest? Why not more? So on and so forth. Make that prospect uncomfortable. Reasonably, obviously. Do not be afraid of them. The more you force them to think, the closer you're getting to an actual close. Number 3 is emptiness. As Bruce Lee said, be water, my friend. Show up to the calls with no agenda. Show up empty like a cup. No agenda, no baggage from your last call, no negative stuff from the last call. Maybe the last prospect cursed you out. Then go to the next call with that same energy. Obviously, you'll get more and more better with this as you get more reps in, you get on more sales calls, so on and so forth. But go there empty. Our goal is to find one of 3 things by the end of sales call or by the end of the sales meeting. 1, if they decide to buy, they feel more certain that it's the best decision that'll help them move them closer to their goal. 2, if they decide not to buy, they feel more certain that it's the best decision that'll help them move them closer to their goal. Not buying will get them closer to their goal. And 3, if they're undecided, you have to help them think and make a decision. Ask hard questions that'll help them move them closer to their goals. Next, we have analogies and metaphors. Now, these are so powerful, and you'd be surprised. Here's something I want you to guys start doing if you haven't done it already yourself. Research your client a bit before the call if possible. Spend like 5 minutes. Look them up on socials, read through their applications, listen to their language, look at their lifestyle. So you have a clear idea of who you're talking to, how they think, what their worldview is, right? Because on a sales call, yours doesn't really matter. And then throughout the call, use analogies that'll hit home the best for them, that are easiest for them to understand. You can't use just any analogies that you saw online. The analogy has to hit home for that particular prospect. So, for example, I had a call one time, and the prospect was a huge football fan, and this was a 30K offer, team building offer, and I closed the deal 36K with an analogy. So the analogy went like this: you know how Tom Brady is. He was a huge Patriots fan, by the way, which I am also. You know who Tom Brady is. Yes. Remember when he was with the Patriots? So we're gonna go act as Bill Belichick, and you're going to be Tom Brady, and we're going to build a team around you and go get those rings. If you don't know who these people are, just look them up. They won a bunch of Super Bowls. So the prospect, ha ha ha, funny remark. Okay, let's do it. And this is a prospect that was right on the edge. Without this analogy, I don't know what would have happened, but I know with the analogy we closed. So analogies, metaphors, super powerful. And then last but not least, eliminate statements. Now, this one is pretty obvious. Throughout the entire call, your goal is to just ask questions. Even if your prospect asks you a question, your answer has to be reframed into another question. The only three things that ever need to come out of your mouth on a sales call or on a sales meeting: questions, restatements, and the pitch, which should be no longer than 5 minutes. Questions throughout the entire discovery call, restatement to help them understand that you understand what it is that they're looking for, and then your actual pitch of the product or service. More or less, avoid statements. They waste time and do little to move your prospect closer to being a deal. So start doing these small little nuances on your sales calls, and you'll boost your close rate by at least 20 to 30% relatively quickly. And that's it for this one. I'll see you on the next one.